It's the final round of the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship, the Red Bull Lake Elsinore National in Southern California. That's the home of motocross in this country. Championships are already wrapped up in both the 450 and 250 class, but there were race wins on the line, and there's always a sense of pride there. First 450 moto of the day, Josh Grant is going to get the whole shot on the JGR Toyota Yamaha. Right behind him, Justin Barcia on the Muscle Milk Honda. And your new series champion, Ryan Villopoto, Monster Energy Kawasaki, is right there in third, putting pressure on Barcia. Didn't take long for the Viper, Villopoto, to strike. That's the way he likes to do it. He doesn't wait. He's up to second and now pressuring Grant for the number one spot. Grant was the fastest qualifier earlier in the day, but Villopoto goes to another level when it's race time, and he gets around Grant and begins to distance himself from the field. A little bit further back, Barcia now under pressure from Ryan Dungey in a battle for the number 3 spot. That would push Barcia back to 4th. Dungey would then set his sights on Grant, while Barcia would have to deal with his Honda teammate Trey Kennard in a battle for 4th. Kennard would eventually take the measure of Barcia in this one, pushing Barcia to 5th. Now for that battle we talked about a minute ago, Dungey able to take the measure of Grant for 2nd, but not able to do anything with the lead Villopoto had. That's 5 straight moto wins for your 2013 champion, Ryan Villopoto. We'll move on to moto number 2. Some whole shot bonus money from motorcyclesuperstore.com on the line. If Justin Barcia can get this whole shot, the money will be his. He can't. A couple riders get pushed off the track early. It's Justin Brayton, another JGR Toyota Yamaha rider, grabbing the early lead. Villopoto would pass him. He was off to the races. Barcia was up in 2nd, Dungey in 3rd. Grant, by the way, could not race this one. The heat from Moto 1 got to him. He was not able to line up here. So here's a battle for 2nd. Nice job by Dungey down on the slippery inside. Takes 2nd from Barcia. A bit further back, Tyler Rattray, Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki, closing in on Brayton and then taking the measure of him. That would put Rattray into 4th and Brayton to 5th, but only temporarily because other riders are on the move, including Weston Pike and the 800 of Mike Alessi on the Smart Top Moto Concepts machine. Mistake by Pike. That moves Alessi 1 position further forward. Next on Alessi's list would be Brayton. He'd make the move on him. Alessi from the high desert of California seemed to be feeling it in these conditions, and here he is now getting around Rattray. Not seen is Jake Weimer slipping past all those riders, finished 4th behind Barcia in 3rd, Dungey there in 2nd, and Ryan Villopoto ends the year with 6 straight moto wins. And of course, the championship. Congrats to the dominant champion of 2013. There are your final series standings for the year. Let's move to the 250 class. Eli Tomac already has the 250 championship sewn up. His Geico Honda teammate, Zach Osborne, killed his starts today. Grabs the Motorcycle Superstore whole shot here in moto number 1. Right behind him, you got Alex Martin on a Yamaha. He would crash, take a couple riders down with him. It was pure chaos through the first couple of corners. Tomac would move his way up to 3rd, battling it out with Jeremy Martin for the number 2 spot. Ken Roxon has already slipped into the lead on a Red Bull KTM. There's Cooper Webb in 4th, right behind that Tomac-Martin battle for 2nd. Tomac made a couple of uncharacteristic mistakes, went off the track twice. Right behind him, you've got Osborne, Bogle, Hill, and Hahn battling. It's always tight in the 250 class. Bogle would eventually take the measure of his teammate Osborne right ahead of Hill. Up front, here's Tomac again after another off-track excursion, trying to get Martin, while Ken Roxon continues to pull away from the pack. A little bit further back, a shout out to the number 40, there he is. Martin Davalos down on the first lap in that Martin crash. He would come back to finish in the top 10. Meanwhile, Ken Roxon wins his first moto since July. The German has to be happy about that. Tomac would get to 2nd, but couldn't make a dent in his lead. Moto number 2. Final moto of the season. Zach Osborne's going to make it just like the first moto by grabbing his 2nd MotorcycleSuperstore.com whole shot of the day. Here's the pack. Roxon and Tomac battling for the overall. Started toward the front, but then Roxon would run into the back tire of Osborne and go down. Here's Cooper Webb now in the lead on the 175. Last year's champion, Blake Baggett, is in 2nd and then putting pressure on the rookie to try to get the number 1 spot. Webb on the MyPlash Star Yamaha rode well, but Baggett just too strong, too tough, would take over the lead. There's Roxon trying to make up ground from that early crash. He fought, he scratched, he clawed. He'd finished 2nd overall for the day, but he was out of contention to win the overall. That's because Tomac would slip into 2nd ahead of Webb. Tomac would not be able to catch Baggett, who did not finish the first moto after a big crash. Tomac knows that 2-2 scores is going to edge out Roczen and Baggett for the overall, so he's content back there. Baggett wins the moto, but then was later penalized, actually, for jumping while the wheels on the ground, not allowed to jump, caution flag was out. That would give Tomac the moto victory and the overall to end the year. That's it for the season. Go to allysports.com for more on Lucas Oil Pro Motocross.